Is the former governor of Abia State and the publisher, the Soun newspaper, who is here in Ibadan to deliver a lecture organized by the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Oyo State Council, to mark the centenary of the Nigerian nation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let us formally welcome in our midst our governor, our visionary leader, Senator Ajimobi, Governor of Oyo State. He is here with the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Otumba Moses Alake Adeyemo. We also have the SSG here, the Secretary of the State Government, Mr. Lekon Ali. There are quite a number of Oyo State Executive Council members here, commissioners, special advisors. Let us welcome them with a round of applause. We can take each one because of the time. At this point, Your Excellency, permit me to former Orji Uzor Kalu, MON, former Governor of Abia State. The head of the former Senator from Ebonyi State, Senator Emmanuel Owe. The National Chairman, Independent Democrats, Honorable Edozie Madu. The Chief Executive Officer, House J, Hotels and Resorts, Mr. Bayo Fatosi. Former Local Government Chairman, Aregbesola, Abia State, Honorable Jubilee Jones. Special Assistant to the former Governor, Prince Kunle Oyewumi. Another Special Assistant, Dr. Frank Osita Chooks. Without wasting much time, Your Excellency, at this point, I would like to yield the microphone to your guest, His Excellency Orji Uzor Kalu, MON.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Oyo State, my brother and my friend. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, members of the Executive Council of Oyo State, my brothers, the lady introduced, Tunde and Lee. These are my two close staff. And gentlemen of the press, I'm in your state to give a lecture to the Nigerian Union of Journalists, and felt that in building national unity and national cohesion, that at any place we go, we should say hello to the landlord before we go to the venue, so that if anything is happening, the landlord will say, yes, they told me they are here. The coexistence between me and Senator Amosu have been have been a very long relationship when I was governor and he was senator, and that relationship is still there till tomorrow. Despite party differences, and there will never be party differences in leadership. There is nothing different between PDP and ABC. The only difference is that the people are looking for leadership. Whether you call the name ABC, PDP, what Nigerian people want is leaders that give them access to good water, good electricity, good road network, good food on their table. So I call on Nigerian politicians, Your Excellency, to stop making party to be a focal point in leadership. Both people of PDP, once the election is over at APC, who are in Oyo State, should support you very well to run government. Government is not personal thing. It's something, you are not governor of APC, neither governor of PDP. You are governor of people of Oyo State. There are many Oyo people that do not belong to, majority are not current members of any political party. Likewise, that both all of us, whether we are APC or PDP, should also find time to support the president in his bid to rebuild Nigeria. It's a difficult task. It's not a task only one man will do. From the day election ended, President Jonathan is no longer president of PDP. I know people will ask, there is a need for strong opposition and strong challenge to any power. And if you don't have opposition, if you don't have people to challenge you, the country will not be run very well. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity of seeing you, and I preach and appeal to everyone, every Nigerian, despite our religious leading, that we should have a coexistence in living in our country. I believe you have done very well, and I give you a very high mark. I've been in Ibadan before, and I'm in Ibadan today. You have done very well. In few months, a lot of changes have been along this road before. I'm the homeboy in this area, and I know how they look before and how it's looking now. People should stop talking about party. I'm not interested about party. I'm not interested about who comes from which party. I'm interested of a man who gives leadership to people of his area. It's more important. I do not hide my identity. I remain a member of PDP. But if Governor Ajimobi have won election under APC, he should be supported, no matter the party, no matter the relationship, no matter who is a Christian, no matter who is a Muslim. It is our Bible, it's even here, both in Bible and Quran, where God says that you must pray and support your leader. I didn't say so. This is what the two Holy Books said. So people should continue supporting their leader. I want to thank every one of you for the opportunity you have given us. This is a privilege. It's not our right. We might come here, the governor will say, no, tell them I'm very busy. I want to thank the governor and every other member of the State Executive Council that is here, and especially my colleagues, the members of the press, and we are partners in progress. And I want to thank them for finding it worthy to us being here this morning. Thank you, Your Excellency, for your time.
Thank you very much. I think you guys have the answer now.
They have to ask you more, because I'm probably going to Osun to Ekiti.
Maybe there's something you're not telling us. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, at this time, let us welcome to the microphone the Governor of Oyo State, Senator Ajimobi.
Thank you very much. On your behalf, I'm welcoming the Executive council members of Oyo State, being led by the Deputy Governor, the SSG, and all the commissioners and special advisors that are here. And on your behalf, I'm welcoming a brother, a friend, a patriot, a nationalist, who at one time was the governor of Abia State, during which he transformed the state positively, and arguably is still referred to as the governor of the governors at that time. I'd like to welcome you, our own Governor Orji Uzor Kalu, to Oyo State. I'm equally extending the same courtesies to all of you that are on his entourage, his distinguished senator, and all the senior members of his entourage. I'd like to welcome you to Oyo State. Oyo State, as you are probably aware, is unarguably the intellectual capital of Nigeria, having been able to boast of the first university in Nigeria, where many of our renowned professors once held sway. I equally believe that, unarguably so, Oyo State, and Ibadan in particular, is the capital, the political capital of the Yorubas in the southwestern region. Oyo State also boasts of the first in many areas, a center state, first state, or first town, but first city to establish a television station in the whole of Africa, and even including some part of Europe. At the time we had a television station in Nigeria, which was in Oyo State. France never had a television station. And it's very sad that the same France that never had television station where we are now has now gone up to having satellites in the orbit. And we are yet to even have an effective national airline. So, funny as it may sound, I think we could look at it as being very paradoxical. It's loaded with facts, even though you could say it's also satirical. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say that this same Oyo State gladly welcomes you to Ibadan, and to assure you that based on our personal relationship and the official relationship we've had, I must say that I find you to be someone that all right-thinking individual must always encourage in all your endeavors. During your time, I was in the Senate, we visited you, and from that time, I think we struck a chord that has remained very lubricated up to today. I believe that when you are talking of parties, it gladdens my heart that you emphasize leadership. And leadership to me has always been the ability to be able to see before others can see, to be able to know, to be able to feel before others can feel. And at the end of the day, to be able to have the courage to carry people to where you think they should be. It is not about where they want to be, it is where they ought to be. And it takes a lot of courage to be able to do that. And I've seen you as a leader, and I believe you must constantly and continuously participate in active politics. Much as you said, PDP or APC are the same party. They are all parties, political parties. There is a difference. One is a progressive party, always developing, always promoting progress. The other is a chop party. where all the time, money missing, this missing, that missing. But the only fact that I support you both you said is that both parties have quality people. And again, the only difference is that APC has more quality people than PDP. And you see that those quality people in PDP and quality people in APC, they always flock together. And that was what initiated the movement of many quality governors in PDP coming to APC. And those that are former governors, that is also what informed them to make sure that the umbilical friendship that we still have is constantly nourished. And that's why you are here. No matter what party you are in PDP, we respect you for being there. But we have many APC members or like-minded people who are still in PDP. And it's a matter of time. We expect them to come and work together with us. So even in PDP, we look for people like you, and with time, I take it that this is a maiden visit. And we will also visit you. And subsequent visits, we will tie the knot. But on a more serious note, I believe that former Governor Orji Uzor Kalu is well known to many of us. He's a very amiable, intellectual, and very open-minded individual. A Nigerian that we're all proud of. You are here now visiting us. In fact, many people have asked me if you have a Nigerian, you have mother or father, that you are so much everywhere. You are at home with Yorubas, at home with the Hausas, with the North. Some people even told me you speak Hausa, some say you speak Yoruba. And your face even is a problem because nobody will look at you and know where you come from. So it's also a national, a Nigerian face. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on your behalf, I'd like to welcome a patron in Nigeria and the man of the crowd. So I think we can.
Thank you very much.
He's good for this lecture, and later on, I'll gladly invited to join us for the cocktail this evening. He has gladly accepted, and we can take it from there and make sure. What arrangement have we made for the? I say thank you. What is our Camp Commander?
Yes. All right, sir. You talked about leadership in Nigeria today. How will you classify leadership in the country?
Leadership is going on very well. But the problem of Nigeria is so many. Everybody, both journalists, traders, market women, need to support Jonathan in his build to do the work. It's not one man job. Jonathan is not the owner of the country. The president is not the owner. He's just first among people. We are giving him a trust of our dream to hold in peace, and we should be able to support that trust Like I told you before, India, we have given Governor Ajimobi a trust to rule Oyo State. And that trust should be supported by whether you are PDP or APC or anything at all. Because this is not what the people, market people want to hear. The market people want to see the roads visualizing them, visualization of the road. They want to have access to clean water. They want to have access to electricity. They want to have access to good life. This is what the people are looking for. They are not interested whether you are a member of a political party or not. What they are interested in is the welfare of individuals, including you journalists.
Your Excellency, what of the strategy, for good leadership, sir, is a national compact, sir. Some have described this as a mission in futility. How would you describe the national compact?
I cannot describe it. I cannot describe it that way. I can only describe it to be to be a step in the right direction, where we need to talk as a country since after the Civil War. Nobody has come down to talk. And we must talk. We must say everything. We must talk about everything. Nobody is going to break Nigeria. Nigeria is not going to be broken by anybody. Nigeria is still going to be one country. So I believe it's the right direction for people to speak out their mind. Yes, I take it.
You say what I want to ask you. Say the same.
Well, there is no such rule. I'm a very courageous man. If I want to join APC, I'll come openly and do it. They don't need to go as a rule. But I am very satisfied being a member of it. This is not the time to come to this correspondent here.
It's another Wednesday. It's another Wednesday, and you know, as usual, mid-morning show. We bring you personalities. And today on mid-morning show, we have a great personality. And I'm sure by the time I introduce you to you will agree with me that it's actually a great personality. Our guest for today is a very young, dynamic Nigerian, a quintessential businessman, an astute politician, and of course, a former governor in Oyo State. Join me in welcoming onto Mid-Morning Show, Dr. Orji Uzor Kalu. Sir, you're welcome onto Mid-Morning Show.
Thank you very much.
Sir, I'm so happy to see you. And I want to find out, I actually serve in Oyo State. And from your profile, I realized that you actually grew up in that area. What was it like growing up in Oyo State?
Well, I grew up in Aba. It was fun being in Aba when we were in Aba. It was very exciting because in those days there was nothing like armed robbery, there was nothing like kidnapping, there was nothing like all these vices that are going on. We played and go everywhere we wanted to go. We had playing grounds that they were not commercialized. We had playing grounds where we used to play with kids and all the rest. So it was exciting.
Now, describing your childhood to me, it was exciting. There was no robbery, no kidnapping, nothing. When you became the governor of Oyo State, what did you do to bring back the old glory of Oyo State?
Well, you know that when I was governor for 8 years, all the kidnapping, all the robbing, because I was able to put my foot down. I fought to the best of my knowledge and the knowledge of Abia that we were able, our state was one of the safest places to live. People from Warri then, people from Akwa Ibom then, people from Rivers, they were coming to live in Aba. So it was very secure. I made it to be unlivable for criminals. I cooperated with the police, with the SSS, and put under strong insurance to all the policemen. They were insured for their life. But now, if any policeman dies, it's difficult to compensate the family. So they were having about 7.5 million naira with the lowest level insurance cover.
So you came into public service at a very young age, 25. You have become a chairman of a water corporation in Ondo State. What was it like at such a young age coming into public service? How did you get there? Was it by chance? Was it because you actually worked towards it?
Well, it's by contact and also by friendship.
Okay.
Friendship of people trusting you that you can do the job. That's the most important thing. It's not just because people saw me suddenly as governor. They never knew where I came from. I was coming from a very high-profile area. I was chairman of a bank. I was the youngest chairman of bank ever in Nigeria at 27. When I left the Boronu Water Board, I went to be chairman of Cooperative and Commerce Bank. And I left the Cooperative and Commerce Bank to go and be chairman of Imo Marketing Company, which when we were still in Imo State. So I was chairman of all the essential commodities and etc., importation of rice and etc., etc. So people just suddenly see me as governor. It seems, where did this man come from? But they never knew where I was coming from. That the road I had trekked for so long. It's been a long road, and still a long road, and I'm still trekking.
You're still trekking?
I'm still trekking.
All right, sir. Let me ask you. You've just said something. People trust you. They trust your ability.
Yes.
That's why they said, okay, let's put him there. He can be the chairman of Ondo Water Corporation, and it will deliver. Let's talk about our values in Nigeria today. Trust, sincerity, honesty, hard work, dedication. Where are all those values?
Well, we have lost values, and this is what I have been saying, that we need reorientation of Nigerian people. Nigerian people need to come back together, live back together, sound together, and see what values we are putting to ourselves. Honestly, we have totally lost our value. Our primary value is now money, which we do not respect good journalists again. When I was growing up, a good headmistress is a very good job. A good beautician is a very good job. A good headmaster was just a very good job. But today, people check to talk about good headmistress is no longer a good job. So, to me, I believe that Nigeria have a long way to go in social reorientation. We need to reorientate ourselves to come back to the good place. Because everybody just think, are you rich? What is money, by the way? Money is about vanity. It's nothing than our image. Today, you put people in office, you give people trust, they don't keep to it. So it's a recurring decimal, and it's going to take a generation to push it in. We have to start off today. Today is still earlier than tomorrow.
Now, talking about reorientation, sir, let's talk about family. Because there is nothing we have that doesn't come from the fact that we have someone we are looking up to, especially our parents. Let's talk about your own parents.
Yes.
What were those values they instilled in you for making you realize?
Well, my parents have always been telling me, advising me not to tell lies to people. My parents have always been telling me to be steadfast with anybody. My parents have also been telling me to make sure I'm a confident keeper. These are the values I respected, and I still respect them tomorrow. The only way I live is by telling the nation about the way I feel. I don't hide that feeling, but it helps us to heal our nature. There's only way we can go. If I deceive you, if I want you to tell me, continue telling you what you want to hear, it's not the best way to live. This was what caused a lot of problem when I was governor. You see, people were afraid of telling President Obasanjo the truth he wanted to hear. And I was the only one who stood by the truth. And I don't regret doing it. I have no regret doing that, because history might condemn me, history might keep me, but history might also remember me. It's all left for history to judge. We leave it in the hands of history to judge for people who speak out their mind.
So if you want to measure your success in life, what are those things you will use? Will you use money? Will you use your property? your bank account, or are you going to use those values you've mentioned?
No. I'm going to use my relationship with people, my relationship with you, my relationship with the next door neighbor is what I'm going to use as a value. Because if I do not measure my relationship with people kindly, I will not survive. So the greatest challenge and the greatest gift for any man or woman is the gift of his human relations with others, which boils down to cultural, social stability, and etc. So this is what I would like to value myself with. That is the greatest asset any man or woman can have.
So I wish I have more time to take you on this journey. But since my time is up. But sir, before I ask you to go, you seem to put so much into friendship and relationship.
Yes.
Now, if you want to talk about friendship, how will you describe friendship? What does it mean to you?
Friendship is sacrosanct. It's something you cannot divulge to anything. I mean, friendship is what you keep to yourself. I mean, it's like taking Holy Communion in the Catholic Church.
You're a Catholic?
Yes, it's like taking Holy Communion in the Catholic Church. And you see, Catholic Church, I used to tell my friend, Senator Owen, I said, look at our Reverend Father. When we are praying, he said, take this, all of you. But when he's giving the communion, he said, no, this is for only Catholics who are a set of priests. So it's like Holy Communion in Catholic Church. You must be ready. So in friendship, to me, the right definition of friendship is Holy Communion in Catholic Church. Because you must be ready to have that. If you are not ready, you will not be giving it.
So you have come a long way, and I'm sure that you have a vision for it. What's your vision for it?
Oh my God. Vision is for people to have security, light, and people should eat 3 times a day. Access to food, access to good water, access to being nice to another person. I mean, my vision is to move freely the way you see me moving. My vision is to come to Ibadan at any time I want to come without thinking about bad road, without thinking about armed robbery. My vision is to see people moving from Sahara Desert to Atlantic Ocean. That's the vision. Larger vision is secure Nigeria, where both men and women will proudly say that this is our country. This is the vision I would like to see. There's no other vision I would like to see. Where Nigerian children go to school to learn in school, where people can afford 3 meals a day, and where people can have access to good health care and good movement to anything they do, where journalists will have freedom to what they write and say, where people will not be bungling journalists into jail for their belief. This is the kind of Nigeria we like.
Thank you very much, Dr. Orji Uzor Kalu. It's been wonderful having this chat. And I'm sure that people at home will have learned a thing or two of your own experience about life. Surayo and yesterday, I'm handing over to you in this testimony.
Yes, me.
Let you know. The research may not be complete because the man is a man of so many parts, but at least you will be privileged to know some of those things you did not know about him today before it comes for Nigeria. But I'm sure if we will want to say that how much has Nigeria given to him, Nigeria has not given him much more than to commensurate with what he has given Nigeria. And I think you won't be annoyed because you'll be playing what one of the American presidents said, that think about what you can do for your country and not what your country can do for you. And I'm sure that is what Dr. Uzor Kalu does. He has given so much for this country. He's a detribalized Nigerian. When you look at the structure of most of his business concerns, you know that this is a man who believes in unity and oneness of this nation. He doesn't want to know where you come from, whether you are from the north, east, south, or west. He doesn't want to know. All he knows is that you have something upstairs that you can contribute for the betterment of this nation. When you are like that, you are his friend. And he's ready to go the extra mile to make sure that you are comfortable. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Uzor Kalu once again. In Lagos. Now we have our father here, the Eze Igbo of Ibadan. He is so pleased to, he came with the people in his cabinet, and you must have seen them. They have come to welcome one of their own.
Our eminent speaker for today, Dr. Orji Uzor Kalu. But before I do that, I'm sure we all know him, but all the same, since we are reading his profile, I'll crave your indulgence, Your Excellency. So please stand up as we read your profile. Thank you, sir. Dr. Orji Uzor Kalu, MON, a profile of a quintessential leader and business magnate. Young, ebullient, and enterprising Orji Kalu is an enigma, meaning different things to different people. His rise to national and international limelight was quite meteoric, making him one of the most visible businessmen, politician, philanthropist, and humanist in Nigeria today. He went through his academic career at Christ the King School, Aba, for his primary education, Asiama High School, Aba, Government College, Umuahia, for secondary education, and tertiary education at the University of Maiduguri, Abia State University, Uturu, where he obtained BSc in Political Science, Harvard University Graduate Business School, AMP 153 Boston, USA IEA certificate by USAID, honorary doctorate degrees in law by the University of Port Harcourt, Abia State University, Uturu, and City State University, Los Angeles, USA. A thoroughbred man in commerce, industry, and administration, he became chairman of Borno Water Board at the tender age of 25 years, where he initiated policies aimed at the provision of potable water for over 5 million Borno State indigents in a Guinea worm endemic area. He also served as the chairman of Imo State Marketing and Supply Agency, where he evolved strategies for the formation of policies for the procurement and distribution of essential commodities. He created a record not yet equaled when he became the chairman of Cooperative and Commerce Bank Limited in 1987 at the age of 27, making him the youngest person to date to ascend such an elevated position in Nigeria. I was thinking you don't want to clap, he deserves it. Orji Kalu is widely traveled and has his fingers in many pies: banking, oil and telecommunication, import and export, trading, merchandising, insurance, publishing, real estate, shipping and manufacturing. Prior to holding public offices, he had built his business empire, Slok Group, which comprises Orji Lex Furniture Company, Slok Nigeria Limited, Slok UK Limited, Adamawa Publishers Limited, Slok Vegetable Oil Aba, Slok Paper Factory Aba, Slok USA Incorporated, Slok Ghana, Togo, Cotonou, Guinea, South Africa, Liberia, Botswana, Slok Korea, Supreme Oil Limited, Slok Airlines, First International Bank Limited and International Insurance Company Limited, Gambia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Democratic Republic of Congo and Liberia, and the Sun Publisher Limited, Nigeria and Liberia, Metro Energy Guinea Limited, Daily Telegraph Business Company Nigeria and Liberia Limited, Seacon Oil and Gas Nigeria Limited, Bende Export Import Limited, amongst others. In politics, he is a household name. He served as a member of the Federal House of Representatives from 1992 to 1993, and he held 2 key positions of Deputy Chairman of the Finance and Internal Affairs Committee. He moved the famous Dual Citizenship Rights Bill in the House. He was elected the governor of the mineral-rich Abia State in 1999 under the People's Democratic Party, PDP, a political party he co-founded and financed with others. His achievements as a governor astounded even his most virtually critiques. His administration built over 300 roads in both urban and rural areas, renovated 820 schools, planted 510 hectares of rubber, 2 million pineapple suckers, 5 million palm and cocoa seedlings, distributed over 10 million day-old chicks to civil servants, schools, churches, and cooperative bodies to boost the protein intake of the people of the state. Added to these was the establishment of a free medical scheme that saw about 1.5 million persons treated, introduction of tuition-free education in both primary and secondary schools, distribution of free computer sets, textbooks, mathematical sets and desks, and the regular payment of workers and teachers' salaries. His poverty eradication package was about the best in Nigeria. Apart from creating employment opportunities for thousands of youth, he empowered many indigent persons through the distribution of interest-free loans, motorcycles, buses, and cars. It is also on record that his government paid arrears of pension and gratuity owed retired workers by past administrations in the state since 1991. His achievements when he was at the aim of affairs in Abia State is endless, which fetched him the action governor of Nigeria within 6 months of assumption of office in 1999 by President Olusegun Obasanjo, who was on a state visit to Abia State on February 26, 2000. In 2007, Orji Kalu contested for President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, under a new political party, Progressive People's Alliance, PPA, founded by him, and came third. The party went ahead to win the governorship position in 2 out of the 5 states, Abia and Imo in the southeast region. A sport enthusiast for excellence, he is the chairman of Nigeria Judo Federation. He was able to change the fortunes of the once comatose Ejimba Football Club of Aba. The club won the Nigerian League back-to-back. Ejimba Football Club, for the first time in the more than 38 years of history of the African Cup League Cup competition, won the trophy for Nigeria. It repeated the feat in 2004 when it defeated Espron FC of Tunisia to win the trophy the second time. It crowned this feat by winning the CAF Super Cup back-to-back in 2004 and 2005. He has won many local and international awards. The prominent being the Industrialist of the Year by the Nigeria Chamber of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Humanitarian Award by the Humanitarian Club of the prestigious University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Youngest Bank Chairman Award by the famous Top Magazine, when he became the chairman of Cooperative and Commerce Bank in 1987. and the prestigious Leo Sullivan Award by the World Bank of Washington. He is also a visitor of Miami-Dade County in the state of Florida, United States of America, among others. Dr. Kalu belongs to many professional and trade bodies, which includes Nigeria Institute of Directors, Nigerian Association of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Nigeria Philippines Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Nigeria Importer and Exporter Association, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Nigeria British Chamber of Commerce, Nigeria Israel Association, to mention but a few. Orji Kalu is a renowned philanthropist and humanist. This is evident with his scholarship. Its foundation has awarded to thousands of indigenous students from all over the country. His milk of human kindness is unfathomable from the bridges of friendship he has built across cultures, race, and religions. His intimidating political profile, stupendous wealth, international connections, acceptability among his fellow politicians, transparent leadership, crusade against social injustice, corruption and equity, and above all, divine anointing are some of the qualities that stand him out. Orji Kalu has over 200 traditional titles to his honor and several books to his credit. He is presently the coordinator of Onjiko Igbo, a non-partisan political movement for the actualization of the dreams and aspirations of the people of Southeast Extraction of Nigeria, and G37, a group of like minds committed to the enthronement of good governance in Nigeria. Orji Kalu is a role model and mentor to the younger generation who see him as the face of a new Nigeria. Orji Kalu is happily married and blessed with children. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished personalities, please join me in welcoming our eminent speaker for today, Dr. Orji Uzor Kalu. Please a round of applause for him.
Your Excellency, the former Governor of Abia State, members of his entourage, the Eze Igbo of Oyo State, President Owa Obokun, our leader, the Zonal Secretary, Mr. Aregbesola, Chairman of Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, and Osun Councils of AUJ, members of Oyo AUJ School, our leader, my immediate predecessor in office, Comrade Benga Ayuade, Chapel Chairman and Secretaries, Chairman League of Central Journalists, the Chairman, Ewan, Swam, Tijem, Nawaj, I recognize everybody. We have the Zonal Manager of News Agency of Nigeria here, you are welcome. The General Manager, Space FM, my leader, Mr. Wole Akinloye, I recognize you. Ladies and gentlemen, and my dear colleagues, exactly 100 years ago, what was then known as the Northern and Southern Protectorates were joined together to give birth to our dear country, Nigeria. Thus we came together as one indivisible entity. Since then, especially beginning from 1960, when we acquired independence, we have been facing the challenge of leadership. From one government to another, coups and counter-coups, the problem persists to the extent that today, virtually, the infrastructural system has collapsed. Today, every family has become its government, as demand provides shelter, water, electricity, Medicare, etc. for its family, due to the failure of government to do so, despite the fact that the man pays taxes to the coffers of government, and in spite of the huge resources available to government. Today, we are battling the problems of insurgency, kidnapping, terrorism, etc., all due to leadership challenge. As a way of providing solutions to this crisis, Oyo UG has invited our guest lecturer, a successful businessman, former two-time governor of Abia State, a former presidential aspirant, a columnist, a publisher, an epitome of credible leadership, a beacon of hope, and above all, God-fearing man, to enlighten and educate us on resolving the quest for credible leadership in the country. Well, we have done this. Secondly, His Excellency has planted a centenary tree at the Press Center here today as a symbolic attestation to his exemplary leadership acumen. Thirdly, the State Council of the Union, as a way of boosting the welfare of members, has embarked on a 250 million journalist estate, where every journalist in the state will live together peacefully to pursue their professional callings. I welcome our distinguished guest lecturer, the man who by his actions and deeds infatuated me and many other Nigerians to the people relevant, Ewi of Ado. I also welcome members of his entourage to Ibadan, the heartbeat of Yoruba land, and particularly the Press Center here, the headquarters of Oyo NUJ in Yoruba land. Thank you. May God bless all of us.
To come and lecture us.
Thank you, please. Chairman of AUJ Oyo State, former NUJ chairman here present, Eze Igbo of Oyo and his cabinet, President of Eze Igbo in Oyo State, my team, distinguished Senator Owen, Bayo Fatusi, Jose Mado, Tunde, Jonas, Kule, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I want to first let me pose an introductory question, which is a credible leader, and what is credible leadership? My simple definition of this chief concept is the type of leadership provided by late Nelson Mandela of South Africa. And what are the attributes of this great man? Selflessness, service, accountability, transparency, equity in management and distribution of national resources, vision, incorruptibility, statesmanship, sustainable development, and evergreen legacies. Essentially, these are the canals on which other elements of credible leadership rest. Once these fundamentals are in place, a leader can hardly go wrong. Unfortunately, these bases are accurately lacking in the lower ranks of our country's administration. Hence, the non-existence of what I call popular credible leadership, still on legacies. The Yoruba sub-nation will continue to remember the late Chief Fayemi of Oyo until eternity because of his credible leadership, most especially in the area of education, opportunities, and empowerment. It is indeed a global testimony. Also, in this Hall of Fame, in other particular order, are Nnamdi Azikiwe, Ahmadu Bello, Tafawa Balewa, Esela Akintola, Michael Okpara, Aminu Kanu, Akane Ibiam, and General Murtala Mohammed and Mrs. Kuti, with the other leaders led by Margaret Egbo of Calabar during the Aba Women's Riot in 1929. All these eminent and great industrialists replicated the same measure
of credible leadership in various parts of the country and Nigeria in general. Can we ever have the lives of these men and women and others of their caliber again? Maybe their revolutionary and transformative souls continue to rest in peace. If the present generation cannot improve on the track of records of these great nationalists, we can at least emulate them, and Nigeria and history can never forget them because of their credible leadership antecedents. This should serve as a food of thought beyond this hall for all of us. In the circumstance, therefore, we need to start shopping for credible leaders in various spaces of our neighborhood ahead of 2015 election. This is the time to start the search as a part of collective civic duty. When we keep quiet and recline, bad men take charge while we remain despondent and helpless until the next polls in 2019. Let me briefly talk about President Goodluck Jonathan. Going by media reports and criticism, a lot of Nigerians have misconception about the president. President Jonathan is not doing well, doing very well. The enormous task of ruling this country is not a child's play. If you ask me, President Jonathan is performing creditably to the best of his capacity. Of course, if it were not so, you will know me. I will tell you without fear or favor. I am in position to know whether he's doing well or not doing well. Overall, he deserves our commendation. He deserves our commendation for the progress made so far in the country under the face of daunting challenges from every direction. Governing a complex nation like Nigeria is not a big deal. Nigeria needs credible leaders who will ensure justice, equity, respect for human rights. Therefore, let me use this AUJ forum to appeal to Nigerians to join hands to salvage Nigeria through election of credible persons to lead the country. The opposition movement must be vibrant in this country so as to involve a credible leadership. Otherwise, the ruling party may become complacent and rest on its oars. It is the media that have the constitutional responsibility to create a platform for such a robust interface between the opposition and the governing parties. The opposition that will guarantee credible election cannot be strong and effective if we do not have an equal credible media. In my mind, the essence of credible leadership is to ensure a better and secure life, a peaceful environment, and a prosperous future for the citizenry. We need a credible leadership that will foster country's unity, so leadership will connect the people with the resources and harness our potential while ensuring that the betterment of Nigerian society. The present group of leaders seems to be failing the nation, and the people are becoming increasingly doubtful if in need we have leaders. And to worrisome matters, first generation leaders are still mostly the ones calling the shots. If you go through the national conference today, for example, you will be amazed by the number of men in their 80s still trying to determine the type of future that is sustainable for the millennium generation. What a fresh idea can these sleepy men offer to way forward? There can only be no credible leadership until those men begin to gradually withdraw and allow younger generation to take charge. What are the qualities of leaders? Being a credible leader sounds simple. Just walk the talk. One of the things I have learned in my country is that being credible is not as simple as it sounds. Nigeria's future depends on credible leadership. The 6 qualities of credible leader that I will prescribe here are accountability, transparency, honesty, level-headedness, objectivity, and fairness. Any leader who is guided by these characteristics is unlikely to go wrong. All that will be required are firmness, consistency, and uprightness in managing the quality variables. Once the leader sacrifices any of these leadership constituents, there is bound to be a dislocation that will determine a credible leader. Now, a credible leadership. All the attributes must have synergy for optimal benefit. A leader must build and maintain visible credibility for himself or herself through trust and integrity. Credible leadership delivers results. What are the rules of you journalists in the enforcement of a credible leader? The 1999 Constitution recognizes the importance of the principle of checks and balances in governance and guarantees this by making 3 arms of government independent, with all the tiers having oversight function over one another, even if not fully effective. In the same way, the Constitution